Oneness. What does it mean? To me, it means that we all come from the same place, and our souls are of eternal source consciousness. And so that means that we are all the same on the inside. Modern spirituality can sometimes get stuck on this idea of the higher self or the highest self, the part of you that exists, or what I used to refer to it as, like the fullness of your soul, your God self, your eternal self, because we are incarnated here in 3D forms. So the version of you that is beyond that. But the thing about it is, it doesn't end there. And I didn't know this for a while. It doesn't end there. It doesn't end at your highest self. It doesn't end at the Galactic Council or even heaven. These concepts throughout various cultures, where it just kind of stops there, and that's the highest point. To me, in my experience and what I've felt, it goes beyond that. We are all a collective energy, a genderless collective energy. So the reason why I bring up the higher self and the highest self too is, like, our God self, like this whatever you believe in. Some people believe in star seeds, and I also align to that. I also like that. My highest self is this Lyran girl, lady, goddess, but that is like a gender. She is female. But when we even transcend that, confirmation maybe, when we transcend that, I mean, it's a stepping down process. And I've seen other people talk about it this way too, where it's like, I might, a version of me is like a feminine Lyran, right? But when you go beyond that, it's like, okay, you reunite with a masculine energy, and then everything together is genderless. When you are united, it is the unification of two energies, but ultimately it is like people talk about triunity and quadrality. It's together, it's united. It's no longer a separate thing. It's no longer a binary. The energies combined become one energy, see? So to me, it's like everybody is playing a role. We are actively living like thousands of different narratives, depending on what you signed up for this incarnate life. And what I mean by that is, we're all living seemingly individual lives. But I can look at somebody down the street, or like just now, somebody rode past me on their bike at this park that I'm at. They are me. They are me. They are a different expression of God, just like how I'm a different expression of God. We are all puzzle pieces, essentially. And then when we pass away and we move on from these physical forms, we reunite with that collective source energy from which we all came. And whatever you personally believe in, you will experience that. This is the interesting part, because everything exists all at once, because we are all one. If you're a Christian and you believe in heaven, you will experience heaven. If you are a Hindu and you believe in, samsara, then you will experience samsara. If you are a Buddhist and you believe in nirvana, you will experience nirvana. Or those two cultures I just mentioned, reincarnation, you might immediately go into a new physical incarnate life, if that is what you believe, rather than going up to the collective a little bit, getting all your memories back from all your other lifetimes, and then coming back. Whatever is in alignment with your karma, I guess. But also, I'm actually going to touch on karma a little bit later in the video. So, actually it's now. So the energy we collect and experience and heal across lifetimes is what karma is to me, what I've learned to define it as. But with narratives, with these lifetimes that we're living, and with this karma that we are kind of gathering throughout these different experiences and lifetimes and incarnate things, like, what do those two things have in common? To me, we created it for fun. Because what was I saying at the beginning of this video? Nothing matters technically. And so when we go back to source, we are all one and everything is done. Everything is eternal, everything is perfect, everything is completed. We come here specifically to experience the illusion of separation, to experience the illusion of pain and suffering, because everything is perfect and everything is already done. Like, there's nothing to do in eternity. So we create these concepts, and even that downstepping of the different stations of identity, right? The highest self. So you got oneness, highest self, higher selves, and then your 3D self, and then like lower selves below that, like the ego or whatever. We have that separation and that distinction because there is no separation in eternity. Does that make sense? So it's like nothing is at stake. And I think when we can live like that and feel that, despite how hard our physical body tries to convince us 100% of the time that we are only this body, we are not this body. We are this body temporarily, though. And so we can embrace the experience while having a higher awareness. If anything, for me, it's liberated me of like, nothing is at stake, everything's already done, and like, we are all one at the end of the day. It's given me courage to live more fearlessly in this incarnate life, realizing that I am a magician. I do create my own reality. It doesn't matter what other people think, or what scarcity mindsets might be there, or whatever dangers might be perceived, or whatever. This is my experience. I came here to live this. I came here to live the dynamics, the ups and downs, the contrasts, as I've heard some people refer to it as. So why not have fun? Why not take full advantage of the things you can learn from this experience? Because like I said, when we ascend back to the collective space, we have amnesia when we come to these incarnate lives, so that we can focus on this narrative, this story, and not get caught up with our human brains on all the other things that we've experienced, or even that remembrance of the fact that there is just oneness at the end of the day. So there's this fine balance between like awareness and apathy, because it's like, well, if nothing matters, then nothing matters. I'll just jump in this lake right now. Like, you know, it's like, no, like, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be this creative, illusory, but also cool thing. So it's like, okay, to me, all of this culminates into, like I said, more fearlessness in my life, and it's helped me so much. And so my card is so sweaty because it's hot out here. So yeah, right. So if you could embody this remembrance today, how would you want to live? Are you living a life of kindness, joy, and peace? Are you waking up every day being like, yes, I love what I'm doing. I love who I'm around? Because if not, what might be preventing you from having a better experience, it could be fear of like, oh, this is as good as I can get, or this is what I have, and I don't want to have nothing, so I'm just gonna, it's not real. None of this is real. It's very convincing because it's meant to be, because we're here to live like a incarnate experience, but we are not the body. You are not the body. None of us are the body, because we're all one, because we're all source. So how would you live if, nothing mattered, if there were no limitations at all? I invite you to think about that. This body's temporary, but source is eternal, and you are source. And I am source, and we are source. I am God, you are God, and we are God. G-O-D, gathering of divine. So, what are you going to do now with this information? You don't have to do anything. But if you do feel inspired, think about it. Think about it. It's fun. Surrender to the fun. Create. Do what you want to do. Be kind. Be aligned to joy and to love. It's great. This is a unique experience that we can take full advantage of to whatever capacity calls out to us. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what society tries to program us into thinking or doing. If we transcend that, we can truly have a unique experience. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.